Not here, you missing out. Is this show? Welcome to the We Love Wrestling Spot. My name is Terry. I'm with Danielle from the Pretty Hills and Maddie from Top Rope Bushy. Today we are with a wrestler who calls herself a killer. If you don't know her, you will know her. At the Mission Pro Run It Back show on December 11th, she will be facing Miranda Gordy for the SWE Women's Championship. Her name is Killa Kate. How you doing today, Killa Kate?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for being on with us here today. The first question I always ask is, what started your love for wrestling, or how did you love wrestling?
What started my love for wrestling? Honestly, I got really into it when I started seeing it on TV, but it wasn't until I actually got to go like in person to like live independent shows is when I really like fell in love with it. Was like, oh man, I got to do this. This is so cool. That was back when like 07, 08, I think, when I started going to independent shows.
07, 08?
Yeah. But like local stuff, not like not like the big shows, but like local Texas shows.
Who do you remember from those local Texas shows?
Well, the big ones are Keith Lee, Athena. Those are like the big ones who people would probably recognize really right now, who were at those shows and stuff.
Okay. So growing up, who were some of your favorite wrestlers?
And growing up, there's a lot. Definitely two of my top ones were I love Randy Orton, and Mercedes Martinez is definitely my other one. She's awesome.
I love Mercedes. So before I kick it over to the lady, I got to ask, what was the name Killa Kate? You know, I saw you at the tournament from Hell, and I asked you about it. I mean, Hell Hath No Fury, the Killa Kate name. So how did you come about that name?
Honestly, it came about just like naturally, like in the course of training. My coach, Lamont Williams, went ahead and gave it to me. It kind of rhymed with my name, and I have like a little bit of a background in like battle rapping and stuff like that online. So that combined with my MMA background kind of just created that Killa name.
Time out. You got bars?
Just a little bit. I posted a couple of clips like on some of my social media of like a couple of old verses and stuff like that.
I've seen it.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna come back to it, but I'm gonna give it to the ladies right now. I'm gonna drop out, but I'm gonna come back in. Let's go with Maddie from Top Rope Squishy first.
Gotcha. So, Killa Kate, how long have you been wrestling?
I've been officially wrestling for about 2.5 years now. So just a lot, training for like about 3.5, but officially wrestling for like 2.5.
Nice. And what has been like your favorite match that you've been in up to date?
Oh, that is so hard. Honestly, my favorite match, it was when Rache Chanel was under her previous name, Raquel Vaughn, but we had this one match, and that will forever be one of my favorite matches.
Why?
It was like a culmination of a lot of things. We were the main event of like the first ever all women show for our academy and stuff like that. So it meant a lot to have like a whole show dedicated all to women's wrestling and us being the main event. And we just always had a chemistry when we wrestled too, but that was the first time we got to wrestle. So that's why it felt kind of like magical, I guess.
Nice. And if you could pick like a dream match, someone that you'd want to wrestle, who would you want to wrestle?
I always come back to Mercedes Martinez. I honestly got this close to having it at some point, but it wasn't in the cards. But I'm so happy for where she's at now. So maybe one day, but that's definitely it.
Nice. Where do you see yourself like 5 years from now? I know you're wrestling now,
mm-hmm.
but like,
yeah, I mean that's a hard question, I guess, for everybody. You know, you always want to be like, here's like, you know, I want to be signed, basically. And I guess that's always like the number one goal. But at the end of the day, I just want to be happy with what I'm doing and content with like with my career choices and stuff like that. Obviously, those are the big goals, is like to get signed or to travel and go to major companies. But always just being happy with wrestling is my end goal.
Nice. And I just have one more question before I pass it on to Danielle. And if there's one wrestler that you can meet that you haven't met yet, who would it be?
Ah, that's so hard. Honestly, everyone always says like the Undertaker is the one to meet, because like just because he has this presence about him, like, you know, the mystique behind it and stuff like that. That when you meet him, it's like, oh, like this is him. So I guess that would be my answer, maybe.
Nice. Have you been starstruck with any wrestlers you've met?
Honestly, a little bit and no at the same time. Like, you know, you have these idols and stuff that you look at, but at the end of the day, they're just a regular person too, you know? So I try to always think of it as that, like, they're a normal person. They wouldn't want to be bothered or something like that. So you're just, so inside you fangirl a little bit, but then you're just like, hope you're having a great day. Nice to meet you.
You're screaming inside.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for answering my questions. I'm going to pass it over to Danielle.
Hello.
Hey. So I kind of wanted to jump in because you dropped a few pieces of information. It may have been exclusive to some. I want to know more about this mixture of mystique that you have going on, incorporating, like, you know, I know you've been training for, you said 2.5 years, or you've been wrestling for for about 3 years, but you've also got some MMA under there, along with your like battle rap background. And like, you know, associating all of that with the nickname Killer. So I really want to know more about your journey and like how, like, everything up until, you know, they called you and asked you to be on the Run It Back show. So can you fill us in on, you know, spin all of that for us in a little bit of time that we have?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like back when I was into all those independent shows and stuff like that, they really weren't, like, more so now they're willing to train people who are younger, but they really weren't willing to train people who were younger at that time. So I was like, okay, what will prepare me for professional wrestling? I don't know. So I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, because combat sports. I'm like, this will help me be a wrestler. So I kind of fell in love with that for a couple of years and stuff like that. And doing that, I never competed beyond like grappling competitions, like Naga and some of those big ones, stuff like that. Never been in a ring yet. Maybe one day. Thunder Rosa is a little bit of inspiration there. As like, she just went out and did the whole thing. Like, she's like, I'm gonna fight. Let's go. And basically went all out there, that's an inspiration. So I never say never. But yeah, the rapping background, I really definitely got into the whole aspect of rhyme schemes and stuff like that, and words, and how you kind of put them together to create different things and stuff like that. That's why I've always really enjoyed, you know, creating videos and talking about wrestling content and stuff like that, because I feel like that's a similar background. But yeah, I did like some competitions and stuff online back when that kind of used to be a thing, back when SoundCloud wasn't like as popular as it is now. But yeah, those are always fun. And I think it definitely helped benefit me talking in front of a camera or behind a microphone and stuff like that, giving you the confidence to do that. So all that combined has kind of led me to this point where, you know, Mission Pro is doing these awesome shows. And as soon as I saw that they were doing like an all-women event, I immediately like sent an email out to Robin, was like, whatever it is, I want to be a part of this, because I love the mission that you guys have. However small, you know, or however big, I want to be a part of it. So sorry, that was super long, but
No, that was perfectly fine, because you kind of, you know, tied everything in together, and that kind of was what I was aiming at. I guess lastly, I'll want you to touch on maybe the evolution of Killa Kate, right? So we have whoever, you know, you aspired to be, then we have you actually training and, you know, having your thoughts travel as you train, and then now, you know, you're on a show as big as Mission Pro's Run It Back. So I want you to maybe explain or take us through a little bit of the evolution of Killa Kate, and then I want to like jump the gun and talk about maybe what you have that you can share with us, because right, we're all about keeping kayfabe here. What you can share with us for 2020.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess the kind of evolution of it was starting out, it was really just like I was more of a silent type kind of person, you know. In social circles, honestly, I'm always kind of a person who just stays in the background and is kind of quiet, more of a introvert, I think is the word. So that's mostly kind of me, unless I need to be an extrovert. Then I can do that also, but I prefer to, you know, be the quiet one. So that kind of the Killa aspect always kind of started off as like, oh, you're gonna be like the silent but deadly kind of type, you know, the in the shadows and stuff like that. I'm always built from the corner of your eye, so it's kind of like that sneaky kind of person, using my MMA background and stuff like that. And over the course of the evolution, I feel like I've been working with like a faction in the Dallas area and stuff like that, and that kind of got me more confidence to be more outspoken and be one of the louder voices in the group and stuff like that, and get to travel a lot more across Texas. And since then, since like the beginning of this year, I started also training at the dojo, which is ran by Ember Moon and her husband Matt Palmer. So that kind of also gave me a lot of tools and stuff like that, like you said, to kind of picture where the future is going to be and where is 2021 going to be and leading me and stuff like that. And there's a lot of things I feel like are going to change in 2021 for my persona and my personality. And I'm in the course of trying to workshop all that kind of right now. But how to be more true to me instead of too much of a caricature, if that makes sense.
Okay, so I, just not telling too much that you don't want it to know, but like I'm super intrigued, and I think you really raised like one of my like antennas, right? When you said the battle rapping thing, because it's like I feel like every single person who's like appreciated rap has at one point tried to take a stab at it, and I will put myself out there and say that I've tried to. And I've always admired rap generally, but battle rapping is a different animal because you have to be on the fly, right? You have to be super creative. You have to have general things in your arsenal that you can then tailor to whoever's going to be your opponent. So how, like, will you be incorporating any of that creativity in 2020? Like, I love to, because 2020 has been such a learning year. And I've been saying all year, it's been an asterisk year, right? Everything in this year kind of doesn't count, but counts, but doesn't count. It's really been a learning, reflecting year, right? So a lot of things that have gone on have helped you understand certain things that you said, oh no, 2021, this is going to be what it's going to be. So that you can share with us, like what's coming down the pipeline? Like what is going to be, what are you probably or possibly further evolving into? Like because I know that you're probably like super duper creative, having that type of, skill under your belt. So what can we expect that you're able to tell us, but not giving us, not spoiling anything?
Yeah. I just know a lot of changes will be coming in 2021 for me. Like you said, that kind of aspect of on the fly and creativity, I definitely want to make more of that part of my wrestling persona, I think, because it's pretty unique and stuff like that. I don't know if I just froze for a second, but I think I'm still here. It's definitely very unique and stuff like that. And like you said, it gives me the ability to think on the fly and stuff like a lot. We usually do like a lot of promo stuff on the fly, and where we have to counter back in classes and stuff like that. So I think that's definitely helped me in that aspect. And I would like to use more of it in the wrestling industry. It just depends on a lot of those opportunities and come up and stuff like that. One of the things I want to definitely do more is travel outside of Texas. I've had a couple of opportunities to do so, to go to Arkansas, to go to Minnesota, but I think to start getting out there more and stuff like that and taking those chances is definitely on my game plan for 2021.
Well, I'm excited, and I want to definitely hear more about it, and I hope that we can have you back on maybe sometime next year to hear more about your journey. But I'm going to kick it back to Terry.
Kate, I'm going to tell people who watch this, you know what I'm saying, I got a little headache going. because
Sorry to hear that.
my flows are ill. I'm sick out here. So you see, you can go off the top of your head with some flows or some bars.
Mm-hmm.
You want to pass the mic back and forth? What you want to do?
Okay, well, we can do it. I'm not sure if I'm frozen on your screen or not, but
No, you're not.
okay.
Before we start passing bars back and forth, though, let me do this part.
Okay.
Mission Pro Run It Back, Friday, December 11th. You want to rap about Miranda Gordy? I mean, what topic do you want to do? You know, I can go off the top too. You know what I'm saying? What you want?
We can do Mission Pro. It's fine.
Ooh, you want to go first? I ain't did this again.
I know. I was like, it's so hard.
Give me a subject for Mission Pro, Danielle. Maddie, I'm gonna go off the top. Throw something to me. Talk about their match.
Talk about how fierce everybody is. Talk about the real competition. This is going to be huge for women's evolution generally, and debunking all the myths about women's wrestling. Talk about that.
So that's a whole lot. So I'm not gonna do all that.
You said something. You said give me something.
Everything. Everything
yeah.
Danielle said. I second.
You know. Mission Pro, December 11th. Killa Kate in the house. Miranda Gordy, she gonna give you the bam bam. You gonna see what that's about. We're gonna pass to you now. That's just a warm up. Let's see what.
Mission Pro, one of the #1 shows, bringing the straight fire. You know we coming out dressed with the illest attire. You know that Miranda Gordy, she ain't gonna win. I'm gonna retire her whole legacy. There's nobody better than me. See, I'm on top of the game, on top of my name. Killa Kate. The rest of y'all gonna get incinerated when you step up to me. I'm the #1 rated wrestler in Texas. Don't test me. I'm the best. See, don't disrespect me.
Woo!
I don't know.
Let me tell you, when she said, Miranda, you gonna get incinerated. Oh, I'll keep that whole structure bar for bar.
That was awesome.
So let's talk about Miranda Gordy. She's the SWE Women's Champion,
Mm-hmm.
the daughter of one of the Freebirds in the Texas area. If you're from the Texas area, you know about the fabulous Freebirds, Bam Bam Terry, Bam Bam Gordy. So how do you feel going for this title? Because I've seen y'all talking back and forth. So what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what happened?
You know, we've actually faced each other once at SWE before she had the title, though. This was, I think, you know, it was my first time there. I think one of her first times there, maybe. And it was people said it was one of the best matches of the night. Got a lot of praise for it. I know I was this close to tapping her out, this close. So that's why I know at Mission Pro, you know, it's been almost a year now. Things are a little bit different. I see that she's got a title around her waist, but I'm also a changed person too. So I'm going to take that title from her through any means necessary.
2 changed people. They going to run it back a whole year after they ran it the first time. So wait, I got the bring. So you said you almost tapped her. Are you saying that you didn't win that first match?
You know, I had a manager who
don't do it.
It's not who you're thinking it is. It wasn't Mr. Nastico. It was a different manager that night. Okay. So yes, I will put all the blame on them because they weren't leading me the right way. Things are different. I'm coming by myself this time. Clear mind, always thinking just myself.
Ooh. Now, the first Mission Pro card, Hell Hath No Fury, it was you and Promise Braxton against Vert Vixen and Jenna Lynn.
Correct.
Y'all won that match.
Mm-hmm.
Were you on the second Mission Pro card? I don't think.
No, was not. Yeah.
Okay. So you'll be coming back. That's why it's called Run It Back. So here's my next question for you. Since you're in one of, I think, 3 championship matches that night.
Yes.
The main championship match will be crowning the Mission Pro champion. First one ever. La Rosa Negra versus Lacey Ryan.
Yes, that's correct.
Who's your choice?
That's very hard. I was briefly in like a battle royal with Lacey Ryan once, and she's got some very vicious chops.
True.
But my pick is La Rosa Negra because she has been very dominant on each Mission Pro show thus far, and I think she's coming with a purpose to run it back.
Hey, all I can say is September episode. One of these, I think it was maybe episode 9 we got on here. We talked to La Rosa Negra, and she actually said everything that you're saying. She was like, I'm coming in 2020, at the end of 20 and 2021 to kick all these ladies' asses. I'm coming with the energy. It's my time. I'm here to prove something. So, you know, the run she's going on right now, I'm like, oh, well, she did say it in September. So I wouldn't be shocked if she was to get the title. I'm not picking who my person is, but I wouldn't be shocked if she
You're staying in the middle. You're staying out of it.
Right down the middle. You know, I don't want no issues when we pull up and they like, oh, so I heard you said you was going like, man.
That's smart. That's smart though.
So Killa Kate, yeah, I'm gonna ask it. Random, Rock or Stone Cold?
The Rock, of course.
Ooh, a Texas person who picked The Rock. Let's go.
He's just. I gotta be honest. He's just so much more entertaining to listen to than Stone Cold.
Bars, so much more.
No disrespect. I honestly think Stone Cold went to the same college that I went to, so that's even worse.
You didn't pick Stone? Oh.
But it's The Rock, man. He's just so charismatic. Just so charismatic.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with you.
Yeah.
That's true. Let's see, Maddie, Danielle, if you're still there, do you have any final things before we do our last segment that we do on here?
Just thank you for taking this time to interview with us. Looking forward to seeing everything that you have coming up. Keep pushing forward. I know it's hard for wrestlers with COVID, now it's caused a lot of issues, but it seems like everybody's finding a way around it. So I hope 2021 brings great things for you.
Thank you so much.
The entire time we've been waiting for you to put yourself over, Kate. This is our put yourself over moment. This is where you let us know any social media, any websites or t-shirts or anything out there that you want the people to go through or anything else that you have coming up. We just ask for you to put yourself over.
Well, of course, the first thing we got to put over is Mission Pro, Run It Back. That is my last show of the year. So make sure if you don't got tickets already, you can also stream it online. So that's coming up next week, next Friday. You can find me on social media at WrestleKate on Twitter and Instagram. And I don't have anything else to promote. I'm working on some new t-shirts for the next year. So just keep your eyes peeled to my social medias. Big things popping in 2021. I'm very excited for it.
Ooh, big things. See, yeah, you coming back on in 2020.
I would love to.
Let's I ain't gonna do that. Danielle, you got anything before we close out?
I just want to, say we appreciate you sharing your evening with us, and I mean, I'm looking forward to unfortunately, I won't be in Texas for the event next week, but I am super looking forward to all the highlights. And I just simply love doing these type of things with Maddie and Terry because it shines a new light on wrestlers that we wouldn't ordinarily see just because of the regional things that are going on. This is I would say that, Corona has presented a gift and a curse. The curse, we all know what the curse is, but the gift is that we've been able to connect with wrestlers from different regions that we probably wouldn't have ordinarily seen because of, so much wrestling in so many different regions. So we appreciate you for, lending your time to us. I'm sure as I follow you, I know that you're a gym person. So I know you could easily have been in the gym right now, but you chose to, sit and chat with us. So forever and a day, thank you. And make sure you kick all of the ass next week.
Thank you. That means a lot.
And Kate, if you don't kick the ass, I mean, you're going to see me in first person. I'm going to be like, Kate,
You're gonna be like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? What are you
No,
doing?
no.
We gonna battle too. We gonna battle bar for bar. And I'm
Okay.
Kate totally beat you in that battle.
I know she did.
Calling you out at intermission.
It's called the working group. You know what I'm saying? She from Texas, I'm from India. It'll be a good thing to see what happened. You know what I'm saying? Is anything offline? I have to ask that. Because if we battle bar for bar, you know, the real me gonna come out, and I don't want to be held back by nothing. Silence give consent. We with it. All right. No, we'd like to thank Killa Kate. Her name on Twitter and Instagram is Russell Kate, but her name is Killa Kate because she's a killer, as you just heard. We like to thank you for giving us this time. Like she said, she will be on the December 11th Mission Pro. Run it back at Pinball's Kingdom in Buda, Texas. If you can't be there, sign up on the Title Match Network and you get 2 weeks for free.
Oh.
We also like to thank Maddie from Top Row Squishy for joining us. As always, we thank Danielle from the Pretty Hills because, you know, they pretty. They always here. And as I always say, because I'm Terry, if I love wrestling and you love wrestling, then we love wrestling. It's too sweet. Woo! For a culture.